Hey there everybody, this is Dapper Nerd, and today I'm going to be reviewing some pretty cool books. First, I have Bud Not Buddy by Christopher Paul Curtis, and then I also have Great Black Heroes by Brilliant Scientists by Linda Jones, and then I also have Jump at the Sun Treasury, an African American collection of picture books. Now, let's get started. First, let me explain to you why Bud Not Buddy is my favorite book. It's my favorite because it's about an African American boy who goes through the Great Depression, family hopping. You know what I mean? Just like hopping from family to family, and he eventually settles down with a band. And that was just a little tidbit. And now let me give you a bigger scoop. Let's start from chapter 11. The car only went 30 giant steps before it commenced to bucking and finally cut right off. The vampire guy finally caught up with me. He was looking very surprised. He just tapped on the window with his knuckle and said, roll the window down for a minute, bud. Sometimes it's terrible to have been brought up proper. I couldn't help myself. I rolled the window down just enough so that our words could get in and out, but his hands or claws couldn't. He said, okay with this? Don't you think I can read? How come you're carrying a real human blood around in your car? I showed him my jackknife. I'ma warn you. I know I know how to kill vampires. This knife is genuine, solid, 24-karat silver. He put both of his hands over his face and shook his head back and forth for a couple of times. Sweet baby Jesus, why me? Then he said, Bud, if you were from Flint, I might think and believe that, but you're a Grand Rapids boy. You've got to be smarter than that. And if I was a vampire, why would I have got that sandwich and a bottle of red pop? I thought for a second, and then the answer jumped out. Bait! So apparently it seems as if he's not that smart, because if you can guess what he is, not a vampire, of course, then let me know in the comments selection. And then let me tell you about the Great Black Heroes. I came across this at the African World Festival, and I bought it especially for my little sister Genesis. Now it includes Ernest Everett Just, what George Washington Carver, Shirley Jackson, Percy Julian, and Susan McKinney Stewart. Now, Percy Julian, he actually has a high school in Chicago. So kudos to him and everyone Jackson in the Julian family. Hope he is awesome. Now, I really wish I could have met some of these scientists, like Ernest Everett Just, because he did something miraculous. He found out that he could actually switch blood's plasma to make blood donors. Now, that has saved many lives in this modern age. So, kudos to him too. Now, in the African American Jump at the Sun picture book, we have let's see. We have these hands. Can I pray with my eyes open? Say hey, a song of Willie Mays. A big spooky house. Granddaddy street songs. Alvin Ailey and Celebration. Now these books are exciting and eccentric because it talks about how black people went through their lives. Many a time people would just think, oh, you just watch TV and listen to rap music. But this sheds some light on what we black people do. A big spooky house book, that's an African folk tale. And then Granddaddy street songs. If you ask your great grandparents if they're still around, or grandparents, or great aunts, or whatever, they'll tell you that some of these things used to happen in their day. Alvin Ailey, guess what? That's talking about him and how he became the awesome dancer he is. Now, my sister just went to go see the Nutcracker Ballet perform at the Alvin Ailey Theater. And I'm just pretty glad because Mr. Alvin Ailey did a lot for Chicago. He even had his own dance studio. Cool, huh? Well, I'm almost out of time, but just a heads up, the next book review, I will be reviewing Theodore Boone. So, I'll see you later. Catch you on the flip side.